Alright, we're back. Let's continue the story, starting Act 3. We exit the pyramid, and now we're looking for Sarn. We rescue Clarissa from a bunch of blackguards.
I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but we've no time for talk. Tolman was out here with me, and now Piety has him. They're headed for the crematorium. I've no chance against Piety and your blackguards, but you're another matter entirely. Please, you found it in your heart to rescue me. Tolman is just as worthy of your generosity.
But yeah, we're basically chasing down Piety at this point. Following in her footsteps. Let's read the ancient graffiti. I just want to clear out the monster so I don't get hit while doing it.
Mortality is the mother of life. We have turned our backs on her.
Alright, we've entered the Sarn encampment. There's lots of new people to talk to here.
A stranger walks into a town with a lost lover in tow. Sounds like the beginning of a jest, which I bloody wish it were. Problem is, we're still one doe-eyed lover short, which ain't much good to anyone. They tend to come in pairs, you see. Since you seem to be in the good deeds business, how about throwing a Tolman into the bargain?
Alright.
Don't do anything I would.
They want us to find Tolman, which I can get behind that.
More Patur thanks you, Exile, for returning our Clarissa to us. She is the gentle heart of this place, a spirit still capable of love in this wasteland of hatred. Yet that gentle heart remains in jeopardy. Tolman isn't deserving of Clarissa, but she'll not smile until he's by her side. Why are you still standing there?
That would just make life complicated.
Now what's the deal with Grigor? Why is he so deformed?
Come no closer, witch. The name's Grigor, and, as you can see, I've had my fill of your kind. So once you've finished admiring your sisterhood's handiwork, turn those icy orbs of yours eastward. Yes, you've brought Clarissa home to us, and once again she pesters me with pity. There's only so much broth, so many bouquets that a man can take. For a criminal, Clarissa has a strangely soft center. Still, I'd rather not see that heart of hers hardened. Use those dubious talents of yours for something worthwhile. Find her boymate, Tolman. Prove me wrong about your kind. Tread carefully, Exile.
Alright, so he's been twisted by the same kind of magic that resurrected Brutus and stuff like that. But somehow he managed to keep his sanity in the process.
Yes? You're alone. So Tolman's... You didn't go to the crematorium? No, of course you didn't. This isn't your fight. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to put that on you. To ask you to risk your life for someone you don't even know. Don't worry. I'll work something out. I always do.
Well, she's got the wrong idea. I just didn't get that far yet. So I am going to the crematorium. But first, I think I want to try an early ascension here to get get my my elementalist ascendancy super early. I'm gonna complete the labyrinth.
You stand before the gates of the Lord's labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady of Justice doth preside. She shall weigh your mind in one hand, your heart in the other. Should she find you wanting, death shall be your sentence. Should she find you worthy, you will be given the loyalty and love of an empire. The Lord's labyrinth awaits you. Choose wisely, strike quickly, trust completely, and may you find the ending that you deserve.
Man, I love Izaro's voice lines.
The just goddess presides over us all. The future of the Empire rests in her even hands. The goddess is watching.
And I think we'll read some of the inscriptions and stuff in here as well, so I'll need to clear the monsters a bit so we don't get hit while doing it.
In the impressionable youth of my reign, I was encouraged to believe in the precious nature of my imperial blood. The divine claret, as one fool of a courtier would repeat with tiresome regularity. Unfortunately, my divine claret refused to pour from one cup to another. Try as I might, with a lovely procession of young and ever dutiful wives, my noble seed simply would not sprout. Who then to choose as my worthy successor? With the candidates on hand either mediocre at best or maniacal at worst, I found myself in quite the quandary. That's when fortune took me by the hand and led me to a forgotten tome on a forgotten shelf in the quietest corner of San Library. A tome entitled Ancient Traditions of Asmarian Ascendancy. The rest, one might say, is history.
Oh, so Izaro was infertile. He couldn't produce an heir, and he found an ancient tome in the library about old ascendancy traditions and decided to build the labyrinth and the trials in order to choose a worthy heir. At least that's how I interpret this.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Oh, the weary traveler draws close to the end of the path. The Asmari were the first culture known in history to use trials of strength, wisdom, and spirit to select its chieftains. The first Lord's Trial was a rough-hewn maze festooned with wild animals and brutal traps, crafted to test aspiring Asmarian leaders' body, mind, and soul. In conquering the adversities of the maze, a champion proved they were capable of bearing the crushing burden of chieftainship. The first trials were simple contraptions reflecting simple times. As the Asmarian civilization grew in number and complexity, so did the trials, from treacherous mazes to bewildering labyrinths. Alas, there are no surviving descriptions of the labyrinth that tested and proved the worth of Viruso Prima Imperialis. I imagine it was quite something to behold.
Cool. Alright, let's do the first encounter.
Some things that slumber should never be awoken.
Now this boss has some random mechanics. This time we get the gargoyles. Since our character is really overpowered, we can pretty much ignore this mechanic, I believe. And just spark on Isaro.
You were born for this.
Oh, he did get empowered by one, I think.
Pity the Emperor who sits alone on his throne.
No, maybe not. I think we got it in time. So he didn't even get empowered by the gargoyle. Now, you can intentionally let him get empowered by all 3 pedestals. And that will give you an extra treasure key for the final loot room. But we don't really care about the loot from this right now.
The son of Esamir met the son of San upon the road to the Imperial throne. The Eternal offered his cunning, his eyes and ears bought and paid for. The Esamite offered his strength, his sword, earned in the arena. A pact was forged, with the labyrinth as witness. 2 men separated by blood, 2 men bound by hope, 2 men, and only one emperor.
When I'm ready, and not before.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death. The Asmeri were consummate survivors. They had to be, having been sired in the most inhospitable range of mountains in all of Wraeclast. Unfortunate, some might say. I do not. I believe it was the making of them, and of us, their descendants. So it is no wonder that they developed the Lord's trial. With survival being a moment-by-moment concern, that harried people grew to understand power quite intimately. Strong leadership is able to bridge the chasm between existence and extinction. Poor leadership might see an entire tribe vanish into that same chasm. When the Asmeri descended from their mountains to conquer the fecund lands of central Wraeclast, they thrived and multiplied with utmost alacrity in those more forgiving climes. For is it not poverty that teaches us how we might excel in times of plenty? When one defiles the effigy, one defiles the Emperor.
Alright, these ones you just need to click and they get temporarily disabled. Oh, he did get empowered by the first gargoyle, actually. That's unfortunate. I should have taken my time and killed the gargoyles, because now I might get one shot.
Find your determination.
Hopefully I can disable these at least.
I need more mana.
Oh no. I need to do another one. Another round of disabling them.
Receive your sentence.
And another. Man, if I die in the labyrinth, I'm gonna be so sad.
You are inexhaustible.
Okay, there we go.
The people kneel before their true sovereign.
I think we at least managed to turn off all of those. So he's not gonna have the effects of that in the final trial.
When I'm ready, and not before.
I'll do that node. Get some damage. That's not even the right way. Let's head over here then. This is a really early labyrinth. We're kind of under-leveled for this content. But over-geared, I guess. I'm very over-geared. I still do need to be careful with some of the tougher enemies though. My health is probably the weakest part of my character right now.
Dark influences reside in dark places.
This Dark Shrine is a permanent buff for the rest of the labyrinth, which is nice. I actually did need regen, so that's a perfect one to get. What? Oh, that takes me back. I don't want to go that way.
I like you better this way.
There we go.
An aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep those promises.
I think I'm gonna take this life node and this regen node as well.
The custom of the Lord's trial was upheld throughout the founding years of the Empire. Verusso's successor, Caspiro, was a low-born legionnaire, the lone survivor of a labyrinth that claimed the lives of every high-born contender, including Verusso's only son. Caspiro proved to be every bit the emperor that Verusso was. Alas, the Lord's labyrinth was corrupted by those with the vanity to consider their blood more precious than their empire. Selfish blood breeds selfish times, and the Empire paid for it with its own blood, with the Knight of 1,000 Ribbons, with that most regal of cannibals, Emperor Romira. Not anymore. I, Isaro Frecius, shall return us to justice. I shall build the greatest Lord's labyrinth in Asmerian history, and my successor shall be chosen by the goddess herself. Only when the Lord's labyrinth is drenched in selfish blood can a true leader ascend the throne. A throne is the most devious trap of them all.
Oh, we got all 3 buffs since we didn't kill the gargoyles, I see. I misunderstood how that worked. I guess we get an extra treasure key then, if we survive this.
Stay the course.
When I'm ready, and not before.
I die for the Empire.
R.I.P. Azaro. He'll be back though.
Before your Emperor, you are worthy. Before the Goddess of Justice, you are worthy. Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise, Ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve.
Alright, we're gonna choose Elementalists. And I'm going for the Herald stuff right away. Big Herald buffs, and a lot less reservation cost for Heralds. And now we should be able to turn on at least one more Herald, maybe all of them. Yeah, no problem at all. We can do all 5 Heralds, as well as Clarity. I'm just gonna transfigure one of these gems. Icicle Mine of Sabotage. Raise Zombie of Falling. Flame Dash of Return. Oh, this makes the zombies fall from the sky? Causing an impact that deals damage in an area. The zombie cannot survive the impact. Wow. That really changes how that works. It basically turns the zombie into an AoE spell. I've never played that. Don't know if it's any good or not, but it is worth quite a bit, apparently. Cool, I'll probably sell that later. Alright, we have ascended. It's time to actually continue the story.
That would just make life complicated.
Oh, one thing first though. I want to check my graft locker and see if I can get some proper grafts on my back. Because I might have some from the leveling process of the previous character. Return to Dust is a good one. We have Wreathed in Light, Glowing Silhouette. Okay, so it's gotta be Return to Dust, probably. Tender Embrace. Let's do that. Oh, this one's higher level. And then... what is Wreathed in Light? Call down a ring of lightning bolts? Nah. I'll do Return to Dust. We now at least have something on our back. But yeah, we're looking for Tolman in the crematorium here. Because Clarissa said so. Can't get into the sewers yet.
When I'm ready, and not before.
The Monkey King has built his throne on your back. A throne of gold and gem, polished with blood and tear. Throw off the Monkey King and his shining privy before your back is broken.
I actually don't know who this Monkey King is. No idea. But he was mentioned in some previous graffiti as well. How did I just use a portal? Or did I click it? I thought I was... I might have clicked it. Never mind. I think we cap the clarity right here. We don't want the clarity to take too much mana restoration.
When you build something like this, you make persecution a way of life.
There's another trial here. I don't have to do it, but I'll read this.
On the night of 1,000 ribbons, our finest city burned. It burned with fires lit by cruelty and neglect. It burned with shame for giving the title of emperor to a man who did not deserve it.
When I'm ready, and not before.
There she is, my work in progress. Let's see if Wraeclast has been good to you, witch.
Oh, hi, Piety.
Enough of this!
Oh, we just missed her again. We found Tolman. He's not looking so great. Let's bring his bracelet back to Clarissa.
Poor Tolman. I made this bracelet for him when he first arrived here. Idiot said he'd never take it off. I called him a liar. He didn't, though. Not once. I need to give you something. I asked a lot of you out there in the slums. More than I should have. You tried. And that's all we exiles can ever hope to do.
I get the sewer keys.
Be careful.
Listen carefully, witch. Thanks to your sister in art, Piety, I no longer dream when I sleep. I only have nightmares. The same nightmare over and over. The mirror. It's never my reflection looking back. The first time that mirror appeared to me, it was Cole I saw. A rapist from Oriath I had the displeasure of sharing a pen with in Gravisius's stockade. Piety took him for her experiments, and that night I saw her handiwork while I slept. This time it was Tolman, flesh dried to leather, organs shrunk to husks, blood trickling through his skeleton like red dust in an hourglass. It's Piety's gift to me, that mirror. At least I won't be seeing Clarissa the next time I look into it. And for that alone, I hope it's not you I see either. I walked halfway across this forsaken continent because of an ode. Of jewels and eternity, it's called. For twinkled promises of jewels and eternity, the Gemling Queen gave her heart and body to the King of Shades for one more day in the sun. The last day in the sun. That's but a portion of the full epic. The Gemling Queen lived, and she's the enigma behind the fall of the Ezomites and the Eternals both. Look to the Solaris Temple to the northeast. Find the Gemling Queen's remains before Piety does, and destroy them. Tread carefully, Exile.
I want to ask Clarissa about the sewers.
Hello. Those keys unlock the gates to the sewers. Tolman found them. Figure that in the worst of times, people will hide their wealth in the worst of places. We were never game to test his theory. Not with the Undying down there. But you're strong. Stronger than any of us here. I don't think you need to fear the dark. Watch yourself.
Tolman's dead then. Another victim of Piety's cruelty. Perhaps he escaped lightly. Look upon Grigor to see what life entails under Piety's influence. Let me offer you something. In recognition of all that you have done for us. We shall mourn Tolman's death as we shall treasure Clarissa's life.
Alright, I get another gem. We could go with a curse. Elemental weakness is probably the best one here. Although I don't have socket colors for it. I can recolor this.
General, go with courage.
Just gonna quickly chrome that. Oh, we got a blue. It actually would have been nice to have Hex Touch, Orb of Storms, with Elemental Weakness. Don't know if I can get that yet.
What is it?
Can't get it here.
See you.
It might be higher level. I think it's 30 something.
I'll miss a boy. He was always up for a laugh, whether it was at his expense or not. But I wouldn't miss that Clarissa more. Argan's the name, by the way, and it's my honour to welcome you to Dirty Old Sun, the metropolis of opportunity. The opportunity to make something of yourself, or the opportunity to have a very messy death. Victaria was a poet what ended up leading a rebellion, right under the nose of Emperor Chittis. But here's what really interests me. Our wordsmith was quite the talented larcenist as well. Pulled off the heist of the century, in the name of the people, of course. 3 finely crafted platinum busts, commissioned by Chittis for his favourite trio of generals. Victario and his coppers hold up in the sewers. Now that you have Clarissa's keys, perhaps you'd be inclined to search out those heroic busts for me. I'm sure I can make it well worth your while. Stay out of the shadows.
Alright. When we're going through the sewers, we'll keep a lookout for the platinum busts.
When I'm ready, and not before.
We have the bust of Hector Titucius, Supreme Servant. Strength and purpose is strength and indeed. Okay. Find a way to destroy the Undying blockage.
Oh.
So Cassia is side content. This is a league mechanic from a past league. We're gonna skip that for now. We found the bust of Gaius Centauri. A man's thoughts are his shackles, a man's thoughts are his wings. I see the last busts. Bust of Marseus Lioni. The road to glory is paved with sacrifice. Yep. Alright, we exit the sewers in the marketplace.
When I'm ready, and not before.
And we're trying to get to the Solaris Temple and the Ebony Barracks. I think there's probably some dialogue related to the Ebony Barracks that I should go back to town and get, but I'll look for the next waypoint first. General Gravicius is preparing to assault the Sarn encampment. Maramoa has asked you to track him down in the Ebony Barracks across the river and assassinate him. That was a statue of Marseus Lioni, actually.
The Beatles poet could hide the spoils from Chitters, but not from us, eh? I knew you was the exile for the job. I'm sure you've been more than compensated already from Victario's stockpiles, but here's a little extra. Care of something I found under a dead man's bed. Why? Just because I like you. Don't do anything I would.
Alright, I'm gonna keep heading through these life nodes and then probably up this way to get the reservation stuff.
What do you want?
You actually have nothing to say about Gravicius? Oh, never mind, you
General
do.
Gravicius demands absolute obedience from his blackguards, meaning he's surrounded himself with cowards and lackwits, unable to lift a finger without orders. If you are able, traverse the river and murder Gravicius in his own barracks. He'll be ripping the very mind from the skulls of our enemies.
There we
with
go.
Courage.
Don't know if I missed that dialogue earlier or if it just never played. Now the catacombs is completely optional for me because I have the trial already. I'll grab this decanter. That's for a swig of hope. Decanter Spiritus. Man is blinded by the mud of his corporeal self. Only through the transformation of the material into the spiritual can we hope to taste the full body of life. Malachi the Soulless.
I write this now in hope that someone will remain. Someone may remember. The sun is an orb of blood. Twisted twilight shrouds my eyes. The air reeks of anguish. San has plunged into nightmare. The man who served me coffee now writhes on the floor.
Coffee.
He rants of visions he alone can see as writhing red tentacles grow from his face, as if his eyes had been seeds waiting to sprout. He is quiet now, my waiter. No more cackling and screaming. Dead. Of my fellow patrons, only 2 live. The others have fallen. Their blood is everywhere. The survivors, gemlings both, their skin shrivels and grays to the hue of necrosis. Their gems flare with unholy luster, their eyes black as hatred. A gemling ghoul, it twisted off a corpse's head, gnaws at skull-like dog. My head now, visions clawing at me. Thinking burns. I see horror. Envy the mute corpses at my feet. Words flay me. Flee me. All is madness.
Nice.
When I'm ready and not before.
We'll do this one breach, actually. Get some graft blood. I might be able to get a better graft for myself.
I need more mana.
Unique graft. There we go. We can grow a graft the next time we're at the tree. We found a blackguard's chest. There's a ribbon spool in there. Machinery makes the minions, minions make the master. We'll need that later. More Monkey King graffiti.
The shadow whispers and simpers at the Monkey King's feet. When the Monkey King puts his back to the sun, it is the shadow that leads the way.
Alright, so I'm gonna head to the dock. There's one more item I need in addition to the ribbon spool, and that one is at the docks.
When I'm ready, and not before.
And there's a familiar face. It's Fairgraves.
Now there's a familiar face. Before you say anything, yes, I did try to kill you. Inexcusable. I allowed pragmatism to overcome honor in a moment of desperation. Please accept my deepest apologies. And what do you say? Can the two of us make a fresh start? Marvelous! Now, as you've clearly noticed, the Allflame has given me another respite from oblivion. Alas, it's a partial success only. I am neither man nor spirit, living nor dead. A state that comes with some rather frustrating restrictions. I know we've only just been reacquainted, but to put no finer point on it, I need your help. Interested, are we? Oh, splendid! In return, I have a gift or two that I may bestow upon you with a click of my translucent fingers. All you need do is furnish me with a crystal decanter and a juicy piece of fruit. Two humble items that remain agonizingly out of reach for a man in my peculiar situation. Will you look at that? The decanter spiritus. As exquisite today as when I found it all those years ago. You may fault the man, but you can't fault his craftsmanship.
Alright, so we already had the decanter. I'm gonna ask him about the plum.
How may I be of service on this fine day? Emperor Chittus was stabbed in the posterior by his own Lord Mayor on the eve of the Purity Rebellion. Chittus's grieving gemlings buried him in the Imperial Gardens, and a plum tree was planted upon his resting place, so that his mourners might taste of his glory for years to come. I found that tree, and one of my men tasted its fruit. I've never seen so much agony crammed into such a brief moment. This may seem a peculiar request, but please bring me one of Chittus's plums.
Sure. I'll bring you the plum. So you two can taste the agony.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Alright, we found the second object, the thaumatic sulfite. Essence of pure thaumaturgy. Apply with trepidation. Alright, there's no new dialogue in town. Let's just go this way.
I'd love to see the insides of this spell. I can't abide housework.
So we're now in Solaris Temple, a temple to the goddess of the sun. There's also Lunaris. We'll be going to her temple later. Goddess of the moon. Oh, and I should read the quest here. We're searching Solaris for a use for the ribbon spool. We're trying to find the tomb of the Gemling Queen.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Lady Diala. She appears to have some implants on her head.
You are not a cockroach. Strange. Inundated with cockroaches I am. Black ones, 4 limbs, nasty, spiky things. Are you spiky? If so, my ribbons will pluck your spines. Malachi liked spines. Liked my spine. Pretty spine. Bejeweled and bountiful. Enough to make an empire weep. Do you weep, not a cockroach? I do. Tears are infinite. Why, on this very day I found a new reason to cry. What is that you have? Not a cockroach. My ribbon spool. Those black ones wanted them, my ribbons. Wanted to wrap the city in black ribbons. Now they are my ribbons forevermore. Forevermore. I hate forever. I could tear happy ever after from bards' bleeding tongues. You're still here, not a cockroach. Oh, gratitude, yes. I should give you a token. Token? What token? This? Is this to your liking?
Sure, I'll take one of these. Not gonna use it though, I have a better one.
The cockroaches will come again. They want the twist. That cockroach emperor. The other bugs shout his name. Ravicius. Cross the river, squash the emperor cockroach in his nest. The bridge. It is barricaded. That spawns a tricky question. Questions. Questions. I asked too many questions. Chit has told me so. I asked where it all went. Our feculence. He made them show me. Under the river. The sewers from this side to that. Filthy, fetid tunnels like a rower's cloaca. A black place. Crawling with the undying. Once beautiful and arrogant gemlings. Now the foul waste of the Empire. Fitting, isn't it? Apt. 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 I like you, not a cockroach. I like that you listen. It would annoy me if the Undying murdered you. Formetic sulfite. That's what you need. You have some already. You are a resourceful humbug now, aren't you? Give it to me. I was all eyes and ears when Malachi worked. I will make something of your thaumatic sulfite. I will forge an infernal talc that will bring the most furious of light to the undying darkness. A dash of arcanity, a pinch of insanity, a whisper of profanity, and the infernal talc is now ready.
I like that she likes me because I listen. This is probably the first time I've ever listened through hundreds of campaign playthroughs.
It's the most explosive of powders. A sprinkle, the gentlest of dustings of infernal talc will provoke gems to a molten rage. For the undying, the very sun will rise within their flesh. They will burn for their sins, not a cockroach. They will burn. Goodbye, not a cockroach.
I want to see if there's some lore in here. Oh, I actually forgot about a crafting recipe in here as well.
We may just discover the truth of this world.
Tear down the walls that imprison the mind. That is what the gems do. That is their true virtue. The moment my fingertips brushed the cool, silken plains of that first gem, I felt it. My skull ached as if its contents were growing, pressing against the bone, searching for a way to break free. That night, once the wine had dulled the pain enough to allow the onset of sleep, the dreams began. I have not been without them since, nor would I be. Every spark of thaumaturgy that I wield, every device that I forge, every creature that I transfigure, I owe to these lessons cloaked in nightmare. From whence do these precepts hail? Certainly not the mundane grey between my ears. I possess only one reference that bears faith, translated with unquestionable clarity by that idiot savant Isius Perandus, the beast. Duriani of the Vow knew the truth. Soon now, so shall I. Malachi.
There's another map device.
I awoke. Feverish and barely conscious, I set to drawing these maps through the sable hours. By morning, my fingers ached, my eyes burned, yet still I found no rest. The reverie commanded its rendering. The reverie device now stands completed. I've placed the first of my maps within its receptacle. I've taken my maiden voyage into nightmare. I know now that which sent me this precious gift. It knows me, expects my return. It would be foolish to disappoint. Malachi.
So the way I see it, the map device allows them to travel to alternate dimensions, but they call them dreams or nightmares. And I don't know exactly where they came from, these map devices, that is.
When I'm ready, and not before.
But I think that gems are the main source of most of the power in this game. Alright, let's clear the blockage. Wow, what a warm welcome. There's a breach. I'm gonna head down this way and find this ancient graffiti.
The Gem Gentile are an infestation. They are the Monkey King's fleas that drink of your lifeblood. crush them in your work-forged hands.
Alright, we're about to come upon General Gravicius. We've been tasked to assassinate him. They all want to greet you first, yeah.
I shall purify you in flame, Horror of Nightmare.
Horror of Nightmare, that's rude.
I need more mana.
God's side. Where will your journey end, Exile?
You wanted me burned back in Oriath, Gravicius. That wasn't very nice.
No, burning people's not very nice. That's an apt observation, which... We've entered Lunaris Temple now. This one's a bit darker. And there is... I hear him, I don't see him yet. Where are you? This is Cole. This guy was mentioned in... I wonder if it was Grigor's dialogue.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Maybe it was someone else, I don't remember exactly. He was mentioned though. He's pretty much a reskinned Brutus. They used to reuse assets a lot in this game. He has really similar mechanics as well.
Life is too precious to waste on you. You either master Nightmare, or it masters you.
In Soviet Wraeclast, Nightmare masters you. This whole area has giant pools of blood with corpses writhing in them. Really cool. I just had a thought, actually. Oh, it's not a projectile. That's unfortunate. I should have picked lightning gems instead of projectile, because I could have put both Orb of Storms and Spark in here. Could have ditched the Arcane Surge and put that on something else. Oh well. I'll probably want to do Orb of Storms with Hex Touch Elemental Weakness later on anyway. So it doesn't matter. This portal looks oddly familiar.
Of all the worlds you could have conquered, you had to choose mine. Such power wasted on a feeble imagination.
We found Piety.
It's too late for regret. Damn you!
We kind of...
I loved your work, Piety. It was you I wasn't very fond of.
We had way too much DPS, so she didn't do any of her abilities, but she basically... She walks onto 3 different portal things and turns into different elemental shapes.
When I'm ready and
with
not
different
before.
elemental abilities. Alright, let's talk to some people. We have multiple quests completed.
Wherever he is, I'm sure Tolman knows what you've done. I know you didn't do it for him, or for me. It doesn't matter. Piety's reign of cruelty is over. Thank you.
What do you have to say about General Gravicius?
Gravicius dined with us once. This was before my father's gambling debts caught up with him. I dined with him again in Theopolis prison the night before my exile. He wasn't so polite that time. Thank you. That's one memory I can now put to rest. Be careful.
The Gemling Queen? She's... impossible. How did she survive? Why is she not one of the Undying? No, these questions can wait. There's a more pressing one. Is she safe from the Ebony Legion? You've been busy. With this spool back where it belongs, the ribbons should be able to keep the Ebony Legion at bay. We've both seen what they can do to a man. Whether you were saving your own skin or thinking of others, it matters little to me. You succeeded where I did not. You have stood in the presence of the Gemling Queen. I can only hope to meet her in my nightmares. Piety dies amongst her abominations, her warped dream taunting her, maddeningly out of reach. As a poet, I'm fond of that creed of justice. Here, the executioner needs recompense. Unfortunately, Piety was simply a puppet of a greater force. You've cut the strings, but the master remains. Dominus. That key you've picked up, I heard the blackguards talk of it. It's the one key to the Scepter of God on the northern edge of the blackguard encampment. Only Piety was permitted to carry it. Dominus accessed his laboratory at the summit of the tower via a pulley system rigged to the outside wall. That way will be barred to you. And I heard of no one, not even Piety, going in or coming out of the lower levels. Go with care, Exile. I can't imagine what's inside that tower if even Piety and Dominus feared to tread its steps.
Yep,
Now,
that's where we're going next. But first, we have some more conversations.
You are the true spirit of the Makoru, the shark. Not the cowardly beast that sinks its teeth into the lonely swimmer. You strike the Waikoama, The canoe, spilling a feast of men into the water. Hunters turned hunted, that you dine on at your pleasure. Have this, Makoru.
Do I need any of these gems, I wonder? I do not.
You have claimed the most worthy of prey, Makoru. Piety, the mistress of corruption. I'm not saying the war is over, but you've given Wraeclast a much-needed respite. Because of you, this land lives to see another dawn. And don't forget that you've done Grigor a justice of some magnitude. He will wish to speak to you. Goodbye.
Oh, we already spoke to Grigor, yep. Nothing new there.
Piety's off to meet the Maker, is she? I'd love to be a fly on the wall of that little chat.
What do you have to say about Gravicious?
You've done for Gravicious? If only I could get word to that lad I smuggled away from the General's wife at the time. The good widow would need a sympathetic shoulder to cry on. Don't do anything I would.
Don't do anything I would. I'm gonna optimize the tree later. For now, I think I'll take this really long path up here. 3 nodes to get to the reservation stuff. And let's go this way. We're trying to get to Dominus and the Scepter of God. Which is a tower.
When I'm ready, and not before.
And while I'm here, I can also get the Chitus plum, or Chitus. We need that for Fairgraves. That was actually in a pretty unusual location this time. I think it's usually farther north. But the map does look pretty strange with all these hive-born walls and then in it. Alright, I could head straight for the Scepter of God now, but I'll do the side content as well. There's a library and a quick quest in here. Completely optional. And there's gonna be some books to read in the library. Oh, these are actually not voice acted. Right. I am not feeling like reading all of that now. This is already turning out to be a pretty long episode. Act 3 is pretty long compared to Act 1 and 2. If you listen to all the dialogue.
Please, do not be alarmed. I am neither monster nor murderer, though that is the duality of existence that defines San these days. My name is Yosafuanga, and I have the bleak honor of being the sole scholar to the Imperious Intellection, this grand repository of knowledge you see about you. May reason preserve us. In more mundane circumstances, it would be preposterous to ask this of you, an utter stranger, but given that I don't know in which century I might see another pair of flesh and bone hands, there's a door, you see, concealed behind the shelves. It leads into the archives. That's where Isius Perandus concealed his golden pages. Can you see how maddening that would be for me? No, of course you can't. Ridiculous of me to... Suffice to say that they are beyond my reach. 4 Valish texts they are, of priceless historical insight. Please, find my friend's golden pages and bring them to me. You will be rewarded. I vow it before the ancestors. Let's speak again.
I've never actually noticed that he's tied to this painting.
May reason... Talamuana, friend. It was a Karwi Motiata that discarded my failing body of flesh in favor of canvas and oil. An ancient song and a momentary lapse in judgment that I've had more than enough time to regret. Go with care, friend.
When I'm ready, and not before.
We're looking for a secret entrance to the archives. There it is. Loose candle. There's one golden page. A waking nightmare, madness of the mind, or madness of the flesh. The Vol... Oh wait, there's a boss in here. The Vol were even more steeped in gem culture than our Emperor and his gemlings. It's an obsession as old as civilization itself. A communion, but with what? By all accounts, it wasn't God that the Vol were trying to reach. Siosa, your slavery will cause them to overlook you. Your Karui way will guide you. Your humanity will shame us all. These were all written by Isius Perandus. That's the docks. Oh, right. We have the Fairgraves quest as well. Let's hand that in. He needs the plum.
Look at the sheen on that plum. Is it not the most delectable fruit that you've ever seen? No? Perhaps the gloss of hope is for my eyes only. Wondrous! Nothing bonds two souls more soundly than murder. For that reason alone, I knew you could be relied upon. Now, for a little amateur vintnering. A quick squeeze of the plum, like so, into the decanter. Oh my! Look how it transmutes the juice so swiftly, from material to spectral. Effortless. And what an aroma. Imminent death never smelled so sweet. I believe I shall call this fine concoction the Imperial Nightcap. Now, before I get too carried away, there's the small matter of your recompense. A toast to swift endings and promising new beginnings. Oh, and you might want to avert your gaze once I have quaffed this diabolical brew. I doubt that my return to solidarity will be a pretty one. Right. As I used to say in the love dens of Trathus, bottoms up, girls! Oh my. Now that's an unusual sensation. Oh dear. Something is amiss. The All-Flame, it's... No! No, it's gone out! What am I... What are you? No, you cannot be. I will not...
I'm a little bit confused by this, because I thought he was trying to end his miserable existence.
Poor sailor boy, doomed to go wherever the winds blow him.
But then he was surprised when the All-Flame went out, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me in that context. Oh well.
By the ancestors, it's good to see fresh words in front of me. Now, my translation skills are not what Isius were. I can achieve a meager paraphrase at best. But a little knowledge is better than none, is it not? Let us begin. This tapestry of truth is a threadbare cloth indeed, but at least you have allowed me to begin the first few stitches in its restoration, and to settle the memory of a dear friend. In return, allow me to give you this, a little practical wisdom to improve your lot.
Do we get Hex Touch here? We do get Blasphemy, but that's not what I want. Hex Touch might be even later. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna check back in the town and see if anyone has anything important to say.
That would just make life complicated.
What is it? There is nothing else.
You looking sharp?
We could ask about the Purity Rebellion, I guess.
I'm no history scholar, but I know that Emperor Chitus was overthrown by Vol of Thebris in the so-called Purity Rebellion. But Vol had the shortest reign of any internal emperor. The Cataclysm sort of that.
Huh. So Vol overthrew the reigning Emperor Chitus.
Good luck to you.
And then the Empire fell to the Cataclysm, whatever that is.
What is it? On the fall of the Empire, the historians are deathly silent. After the Purity Rebellion, the Kingdom of Kalm blockaded Oriath, preventing any trade or correspondence with the mainland. It's said that Kalm planned to invade. Only when the Karui retreated did Oriath get any news from Wraeclast, but by that time there wasn't really anyone left to tell the tale.
Huh.
See you.
So they don't really know what happens.
Hello.
The historians are silent about the cataclysm. I'm gonna quickly check my graft locker and see if I have a better graft available now. They're actually, most of them are too high level for me to use, so that's a nope. I guess I could try to make one.
She is pleased.
Heart of Flame is actually a really good one. And we get a higher level Return to Dust as well. Let's do those. Actually, I might want to have Heart of Flame and Tender Embrace instead. Both defensive, yeah. Hey Krobin, what are the plans for this character? Well, so far we've picked all the heralds. We're going Herald Elementalist. And that's about the extent of my plans. I do have this ring that also has a Herald ability, but I can't equip it yet. But the whole idea of this character is that we're playing through the story and actually paying attention to the story for once.
Soon bear fruit.
We're listening to the dialogue and trying to make sense of what's actually going on. The character is called Story Mode. But once I've completed all the acts, I will figure out a build for it in the endgame. I could always respec it into something else if my current plan doesn't pan out.
When I'm ready and not...
The Herald of All,
I've started
yeah.
practicing breathing underwater. If I train hard enough, I've heard that I'll develop gills after a while. Couple of years, I should be able to easily breathe underwater. So, you gotta be dying to know. What's the secret, huh?
Wow, 2 gills in one stream. First Velmorn and then Leet Largo. Nice. I will, I'll get the VIP sorted in the next break for both of you guys. I might be running low on VIP slots at this point. But I should have at least 2 more.
Remember, Dominus, what goes up must come down.
Oh, there's no voice acting for this plaque. It's just... Oh, it's just a plaque for the statue of Malachi. Father of Dreams. I've never actually seen Malachi's appearance. He has a child on his shoulder.
So I've started practicing breathing underwater. If I train hard enough, I've heard that I'll develop gills after a while.
Really?
Couple of years, I should be able to
Sally as well?
breathe underwater. So, you gotta be dying to know. What's the secret?
Running low, you say? Oh no. Wow. Hey, Sully. Yeah, I should hopefully have 3 more slots. From what I've heard, PoE story is quite extensive, but I, like many others, never paid any attention to it. Exactly. That's why we're taking the time to actually try to pay attention to it in this playthrough. Because that's an unusual way to play PoE. I've played through the campaign hundreds of times at this point. Or at least 100+ times. But I've never fully listened to everything. You're trying for the achievement as well. I already have the no loose ends. What's it called? I have all the achievements in this game. I don't remember what it's called, but no stone unturned. That's it. Actually, that's all heirs plus no stone unturned. I did those a long time ago. They probably added new dialogue and new lore since then, but that's not really what we're trying to achieve here. And when I did that, I didn't actually listen to everything. I just clicked through everything. And it was quite tedious because you needed to do some of the dialogue in a specific order, and there was a way to brick your character so that you had to start over if you didn't do things in the right order. It's probably one of the worst achievements. But the point of this playthrough is different. We're trying to actually learn what is going on in the story. We don't have to listen to all the dialogue in the game, but we're trying to get to the most important parts and piece the story together.
When I'm ready, and not before.
And as we go along, I also talk a little bit about the game's history, because I've played this game for over a decade now. Yeah, there's way too much missable dialogue if you brain AFK. Like, you have to go back and forth between... After doing certain things in the campaign, you need to go back to town and talk to a specific person before going to the next step, otherwise you can miss dialogue. It's a truly horrible achievement.
My dear Chitus, the Empire has lived in fear and ignorance since its inception. Our Asmiri ancestors, in their arrogance, turned their backs on the lessons of the Val. The emperors before you lacked courage, lacked vision, paying lip service to eternity while scrabbling for approval and comfort within the prison of their meager mortal lives. You are not one of those emperors. You are Chitus the Great, the man who will make this empire truly understand the meaning of the word eternal.
This sounds like Malachi. Yeah.
Autocracy together, my emperor. Gem by gem, immortal by immortal. Your devoted servant, Malachi.
So Malachi was a servant of Chitus. Presumably working on some dark magic with the gems. Or the map device, or both. I still don't know where the map device came from, though. How did the grind to 100 go? Well, we are 100. I didn't do the last part on stream because it got kind of repetitive. I just did it off stream yesterday. But it went fine. I didn't die at all during the grind. So I can actually sell that Omen of Amelioration that could have prevented XP death.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Oh, an interesting tidbit about this cage. There is a playable character called the Scion that starts in the center of the tree. And on a fresh account, you need to actually unlock this cage to get the Scion as a playable character. You can only do that once per account, but once it's done, you can play the Scion. And then you never have to do it again. It's a bit of a strange mechanic. Alright, we have reached the Scepter of God.
You'd bite the master that called you here? Which?
I wonder why Dominus's head is so blue.
Submit, heretic!
I need more mana.
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile? The light of divinity! Die!
I'm trying not to kill him too quickly. I think it's a mask. Yeah, it might be a mask.
Die in awe!
I just never got a close look at him.
This world is an illusion, Exile.
Oh, speaking of his monster form, we can actually see him pretty closely here. He sinks into this demonic pit, and then you see the blue head on the monster head as well.
No one will cry for you, Dominus. Not a soul.
I think it is his head, actually. He might be corrupted by gems. Maybe he's corrupted by a blue gem.
You have mounted the summit of the Empire, not a cockroach. You have crushed the bug emperor and wiped his maggot dreams from the skin of Wraeclast. Dominus exiled you, naked and alone, unto the palm of death. But you would not die, would you? No. No. You cuddled death, promised it the world, made it your consort, and so generously shared it with all your fleeting friends here in Wraeclast. Not once did you forget what you were. Not a cockroach feeding on the corpse of a dead empire, like the pests you crushed as you walked. A woman. The sort of woman that planted the seed of this empire right here in San so long ago. What teetering and twisted life it still holds dear, this land owes to you, witch. Of course, there will be more. You know that, don't you? Emperors. Avaricious little pests scrabbling to steal the legacy of their betters. Unless we burn that legacy, sear its infection from the flesh of existence. Go north, my lovely unbug. Go to Highgate, to the beginning of the end. Dive headlong into the nightmare sea. Catch and roast yourself a nice big fishy.
A nice big fishy.
When I'm ready, and not before.
That is great. I'm gonna grab this jewel, actually. It might be useful. Well, that is the end of Act 3, and we're moving on to Act 4.
That water just reeks of corruption. Let's see where it comes from.